since my last video. It's been a while again, of course. It always is, but I've actually been playing some Tarkov again since the newest wipe and the release of Streets and everything. So I figured I would make a video for you guys again. I'm queuing up for Streets. I've only actually done, I believe, 2 runs on Streets, both of which were scavs. But the map is pretty cool, other than being pretty laggy. So we'll definitely have to see how the performance goes here in a second, but it definitely seems like a pretty nice map in terms of like loot density and everything. Both of my scav runs on here were pretty successful. Well, actually the second one I died, so it wasn't, but I got a pretty expensive inventory before I died. Yeah. I'm gonna be chewing some gum. It's Orbit peppermint gum. Not exactly the best, but it's what I have. So, because this is my second raid, or like third, I don't really know my way around this map too well. So I would go ahead and say there is a pretty substantial chance that I will die. But that's chill, you know. Rooster right off the bat. We'll go ahead and put that in there. Not sure if that's really efficient for me, but I don't really know how much roosters go for. But yeah, wow. What on earth is going on here? I seriously just spawned into like, what? That's actually crazy. Wow, I love Streets. This is a great map. So, I queued up for this to do the Streets task where I go to all these stores. But I'm no longer feeling so enthusiastic about doing that. I'm starting to feel like it might be, the vibe might be leaving, actually. Yeah, so let's see if I can get like a feel for where I am without leaving this nice, comfortable little shack. Okay, I'm a little bit doubtful that I'm gonna have any luck with that one. I can't go up here. So another problem is the way that I record involves me turning the volume down pretty significantly. There's definitely better ways to do this, but I'm pretty lazy. So, I'm a little bit hearing impaired this raid. So, there's the potential for someone to just kind of pop out of nowhere for me, but that's fine. I've been running this PPSH with the 71 round, like constantly this wipe. There are certainly advantages and disadvantages to it. Not sure how much that's worth, but it's a key, so I'll gamma it. But Yeah, it absolutely shreds people up close. This is okay. It's pretty useless from a distance, but it is pretty fantastic at just mag dumping on people, which is pretty nice. Okay, so I could look at a map, but I think that's kind of lame. I'm just gonna put myself out in the open and risk it all. Well, I don't really like the situation here. Yep, not looking good here. Okay, can't go in there. Alright, don't know where that scav is. Oh boy. Can't go in here. Oh god. Did he just forget about me? Alright. Okay. I'm gonna go hide in this corner, I think. Alright. Seems like going outside is quite interesting. Alright, so let's see. Oh wait, I forgot I have a compass. That's so helpful actually. Alright, this is north. This is northeast. So we're in a northeast corner. Okay, we're in the bottom right of the map. Near ruined house. This, I'm assuming, is ruined house. Very good to know. And our extracts are collapsed crane, which is just west across the map. And I can basically go straight to it, I believe. This is west, is it not? Let's put this shit on 7. Just stand out in the open for a sec. Yeah. Alright, so fun little. I feel like going up there is a bit scary. Low ground is also a bit scary. Alright, that's a scav. It's not great. Point shooting is definitely way better on this thing. Hold on, let's see. Did I take any damage? No. We're just gonna push to the other side. A lot of scavs on this map. Wow. Another one underneath me. I'm actually not sure what buildings you can even get into, so it's a bit terrifying. I know you can get into the stores down there. No stairwell over here. It's not great. Got half of the mag left. Alright. I think I'm gonna pre-med before I run. I'm gonna keep running that way, I think. I believe. Can I go in here? No. Is this my extract? No. Okay. Well, we can hit some of these stores, I guess. See what's in them. Streets is pretty sick, like, in terms of just how detailed this whole thing is. I definitely get why it took so long. I heard some people complaining, like, that it was supposed to be, like, extremely huge, and it's not, but I don't really care all that much about that. I'm just satisfied to have some content, you know? Alright. See if I can go in here. No. Doesn't seem so. So much fun. That's so true. Nothing. Alright, well, let's see. I am not exactly sure where I am. I mean, oh, I gotta go this way. That's pretty bad. I have a feeling that this is probably like, that these stores are probably kind of looted up, but we'll see what we can find anyways. It is definitely nerve-wracking being out here on the streets. I feel like I'm just gonna get sniped by somebody. Since I know you can be in like a lot of the top floors of these buildings and such. Yeah, like not really sure if that's in me. Just get some stamina back here. I did see a car extract here at some point. Wow. Alright. That's not fantastic. Just keep going. Nothing over here. I feel like this might be my extract. Alright. I lied. I think... No, it's not sewer manhole. It must be somewhere. Must be somewhere. Not too great. Not too great. All right. I feel like it's greedy to loot that, since I'm pretty sure it's here. Alright. I mean, I guess my extract's literally called collapsed crane, so I should be looking for a collapsed crane. maybe I just completely missed it. You know? Or maybe it's somewhere over here, because there is a crane there. Can I go in here? Wow, this is seriously in the open. Medical building. It is nice, it seems like the chance that you... I mean, I actually don't know how many people spawn in on this map. But I wouldn't be surprised if you could get away with not seeing players a pretty significant amount of the time. I think that was this way. Let's see if we can go over here. Wait, this is Concordia. This is a different Concordia. What the hell? I'm definitely like insanely lost on this map. But that's okay. I know you can go in this building. Okay, I think this is the Pinewood Hotel. So, I think I'm kind of near Klimov Street. Scav checkpoint, courtyard. I think for Klimov Street I need to have a flare, don't I? I sure hope not. I'm pretty sure I've done like a complete lap around this whole thing. That's a bit scary. Wait a minute. So I'm looking at the back of Concordia, right? This is Concordia, this is Concordia. So I'm near sewer manhole, which means the collapsed crane is to my left. Alright. Yeah, it's on the other side of this. Okay. This is making much more sense to me now. I'm not sure if it's going to be a bad idea to cut through this. It's definitely time to reload this shit. Let's see. Oh man, that's pretty horrifying. All right. I don't want to talk about that. I guess that was a mounted turret, I guess. So I probably shouldn't have peeked that. When I went behind cover, I was like, man, I really should like probably nade this guy out. But you know what? It's a learning experience. At least I kind of know the outskirts of streets now. Let's see how much this key was worth. Can't even be sold. Pinewood Hotel. I feel like this is a streets key, I'm not really sure. How much are roosters? Not insanely expensive. So, I think I'm going to just throw some stuff on my character and run Scav right back onto streets. Just make some space in here. That's probably fine. We can play a little bit more aggressive. That is pretty crazy still to think that it was such a strong start for loot. But it is what it is. I've heard a lot of people complaining this wipe. Well, like, scavs are too strong. I mean, just like a slew of various issues, I guess. Desync, disconnects, like scavs being able to laser you. Definitely curious what you guys think of all of that, but I guess I wouldn't say it's been absolutely terrible for me. I've had like a somewhat successful wipe, although I've been poor pretty much the whole time. Just got flea market, so all of the money that I did amass, I pretty much have just thrown right into my hideout. But I don't know, I haven't had too many problems with like desync or anything like that. Just like the typical amount that I experience from Tarkov, which is like, that's not to say it's not low or not high. You know, I would say this game has more, it's like a little bit buggier than most, but it's also a lot like more in depth, so I have a pretty decent amount of forgiveness for it in that regard. But I do think, you know, scavs are absolutely a force to be reckoned with now. They don't mess around. Looks like we got into one. Well, we're getting into one, but yeah. I've been playing a lot of Counter-Strike recently. Other than Tarkov, I think that's probably the game I just play the most. Been playing it for such an incredibly long time. I know my last video I made just bunny hopping, which I can't do very much because of wrist injuries. But that's essentially what got me into playing Counter-Strike. And I stopped playing matchmaking for a long time to pretty much just partake in the movement aspect of the game. And now that I can't really do that anymore, I'm basically back to just playing matchmaking, and it's fun. Still think Counter-Strike is just a fantastic game, but wow, 46 minutes and a T20 backpack. That's seriously something else. Not the best ammo, but like, I'll take a half damaged ADAR. And a huge bag, you know, and also spawning in the beginning. I mean, it's actually a bit scary to be in so early, but that's fine. least there's a chance that we'll end up a bit lucky with the loot. I think it's a 50-minute raid timer. I'm not actually too sure. I didn't even pay attention last raid. Screwdriver. I still haven't really gotten a feel for item prices too much on the fleet because I've only had it for about a day. But that's it, huh? Couple more scavs. Really? Just a hallway. I'm definitely excited to discover, like, the depth of this map. Speaking of which, did not know about this whole place. It's like a, can I turn power on or something? I haven't really watched much of anybody playing the new wipe either, so haven't really gotten any secondhand experience on the map. So I don't really know about any of the craziness that might go on here. I mean, I might as well take this until I end up too heavy. It's probably useful for me to have in a couple situations. This underground's a bit boring. Not really so much down here. Well, it's pretty good. I'll take that, certainly. This looks sweet. Gotta appreciate, like, volumetrics and, like, fog. Looks great in-game, but it looks even better in real life. Absolutely love fog. Like a foggy evening or a foggy morning is just like such a fantastic aesthetic. That might be useful for me, huh? Really sets just such an interesting mood. We basically just picked up exactly where we left off on our PMC run in terms of where we actually are. I do know where entrance to catacombs is, but I think I'll go in here and loot a couple things before I... Wow, that's crazy. They baited me. There's no way. They're just gonna put fake loot. Let's see if this one's got anything for me. Wow. Okay. At least we've got something here. Wow, there's seriously some action going on out there. Honestly, I'm not like all that poorly equipped to go ahead and take on some players, but the fact that I don't have meds at all is a bit discouraging. Well, like I have meds, but I don't have any healing items. I'm sure regardless of if I would like to or not, I'm going to end up in combat with some people, so. I was about to say, I wonder if you can get all the way up to the roof, but I think I'm happy to see that it's only 2. It's a smoke grenade, huh? BP is pretty nice. I'm a pretty big fan, I think, of the ammo changes they did. The early wipe was pretty fun, although I was a little bit late to playing it. Being able to kind of get away with running more mediocre armor was pretty nice. Just not getting instantly shredded was definitely a good change. Not sure if that was a scav or not. I think I'm willing to move out of this one, so let me orient myself real quick. This is the front. So if I want to go to entrance to catacombs, I will have to straight on the street and past that theater. Oh, we're good. Yeah. See if we can find a little bit of medical attention in here. Does not seem like it. I guess I'll pop my head in here, see what we can find. I think I actually died in here, my last scav run, or somewhere around here. I don't actually care to greed that much. I would rather just kind of start getting a move on. Although, maybe it's a bit foolish to move via the street, but I'm not quite sure of all the alternatives yet. I guess this is the theater, I believe. Okay. Can't get through there. I don't know. Hopefully nobody's like, hopefully everybody's just doing their own thing, We'll just go ahead and pass right through. I don't actually remember when I made my little update video. Must have at least been like a couple months, I think. So I don't really know what I've talked about doing or being up to, but I had a very busy end of the year. Oh, I think there's a bunch of food in here. Not necessarily busy from a employment sense. Work was relatively slow, but I was essentially just like traveling a whole bunch. I've been driving up to New York a lot to go to various different music events. The music scene in New York is just fantastic. Big fan of a bunch of different electronic music, so and they have some pretty nice venues over there. So just been pretty much just keeping an eye out for stuff that's going on down there, and then whenever I see something that's good, it's about a 4-ish hour drive, so 4 to 5. So I'll just drive over there, and most of the time drive up on Friday, spend the weekend, just get an Airbnb. New York's pretty nice. I'm sure if you live in New York, well, I'm not sure, but some people might have various opinions on this, depending on living there versus going there for different things. But, you know, I've heard if you live there, it's a bit more of a struggle. I know that it's rough, everything's really expensive there, and it's definitely hard to find housing. It's pretty cutthroat up there, but I wouldn't mind living in New York for like a year or two, just to kind of partake in, just to take in all the music, because so at least the end of last year I was pretty much going out every weekend, and then like going to New York and different places, traveling like almost every other weekend and stuff, which was kind of too much. It was pretty exhausting, so I spent most of January recovering. That's not who I wanted to sell that to, but it's alright. What was I doing here? Yeah, I spent most of January really recovering from that. I just completely lost my train of thought trying to think about what I wanted to sell. I think I'm going to run it back on streets. Yeah. But after taking most of January to just kind of relax, I also did dry January, so tried to stay away from any substances or whatnot, alcohol, etc., which was good for me. You know, good to take a break from those type of things, especially since going clubbing all the time kind of goes hand in hand with substance use. So, good to dial that back. So, for that reason, January's been a pretty casual month. Just been kind of kicking it, taking things slow. Did a bunch of reading this month. Hadn't really read in a very long time, honestly. But it was really fantastic to come back to that. Just because, you know, I had honestly forgotten, like, what it feels like to get lost in a book. And it's a great feeling. Highly recommend that. You know, it feels difficult, well, at least for me. Committing to like reading something is a difficult challenge, especially, well, it was. Mostly because it feels so daunting, especially if you want to read something long. I picked something that was 1,000 pages, and it seemed interesting, but I wasn't really feeling that willing to commit to reading something that's just so incredibly long, right? But I kind of realized that it's like a blessing and a curse. I wouldn't even say that, to be honest. I would just say that it's a blessing because you don't actually have to commit to reading the whole thing, which sounds very stupid and like obvious, right? But I guess it wasn't obvious for me at the time. I felt like, 1,000 pages, it's just such a big commitment to take on. Not really. You can just read some. And if you like it, then it's a great thing that it's that long. And if you don't like it, then you just stop. And it's that simple, right? I guess we'll just do streets runs, right? Why not? Let me take a sip of water. The next thing that I'm reading is a novel by Murakami called, I mess up the name, Kafka on the Shore, Kafka by the Shore. I have no idea what it's about. I didn't look up anything about it. I think it's kind of fun to go into a book with like such an absolute sense of, an absolute lack of expectations about it. I can definitely appreciate both ways of approaching a piece of media, be it either complete ignorance or actually just knowing everything that happens. I don't necessarily think that being spoiled on something is the worst thing that can happen to you when you're trying to consume like a piece of media, or yeah, you lose a bit of the surprise factor, but I think there's a chance that you get to experience. It's like whenever you watch or read something for the second time, you're going to pick up on a lot more of the subtleties of the piece. And so if you already know the conclusion, you get to kind of observe a lot of those things the first time, which can be like pretty nice because you're not always going to rewatch or reread that piece of media, right? So I try not to be too discouraged if I end up getting spoiled on something, but at the same time, I'm not really consuming like that much stuff that's like off the cutting edge of coming out. I think a lot of like movies and TV shows and stuff that come out, I'm just not all that inclined to watch. There's an incredible backlog of things that I would like to get through already. And unfortunately, I just play video games instead and listen to music. But that's mostly a joke. Well, in the sense that, there's good things. It's just, you just gotta do what makes you happy, right? Sometimes you just want to play games, and sometimes you want to consume things that might feel more fulfilling or do whatever, Been trying to be less like, both, I guess I would say more and less actively concerned with what I'm doing all the time. To go into that, I guess, in the sense of more concerned, I think it's very easy for me to just kind of like autopilot through life. So the increased concern is the ability to sort of notice when that's happening, or when I'm just like really wasting my time and not getting anything out of it, and then sort of redirect my attention towards something that would be more pleasurable or more fulfilling, like I mentioned earlier. But when I say less concerned, I think when I'm noticing that I'm doing something that might not be productive or all that fulfilling, but it's still making me happy or giving me like relaxation or whatnot. Not being so hard on myself for like not using my time at the absolute most effective way, or just just kind of relaxing, you know. I'm not sure if I talked about this in my update video. I actually don't even know if I had done this when I made that previous video, but I had, in the last 2 months of 2022, I quit smoking marijuana, which I had been smoking for, I don't know, like maybe 4 or 5 years or something, pretty actively. I would say probably most of the time every day, right? And it had just gotten to a point where I just wasn't enjoying it anymore. And most of the time when I did smoke, it would just make me like much more anxious and paranoid and withdrawn. So I wouldn't even really do anything with my time. It's extremely funny now in retrospect to think that I would argue for more than a year, there was a substance that I would wake up and I would go, damn, I need to smoke some weed right now. That sounds so awesome. And I would smoke it, and then I would go, wow, I feel so horrible. And just literally sit there paranoid and like full of anxiety and do like absolutely nothing because I just had to cope, right? With all of that. And of course my response to feeling that was like, damn, this drug is so awesome. I'm gonna do this again like in an hour or something, right? It feels very ridiculous now looking back on it, but I was absolutely just addicted. So, and I'm not saying that that's everyone's experience, right? But I certainly was. So it took me a pretty long time to get over all of that. And finally, oh, I totally forgot to eat and drink, didn't I? That's not great. Whatever. But yeah, so it took me a pretty long time to break out of that cycle. It was just one day. I was just laying in bed. And really, okay, I don't think I want to go that way. I see a sniper, like a little icon. I don't think I want to go this way either. Where the hell am I? Oh, okay, definitely not that way. Anyway, I was just laying in bed, and I was just very frustrated by the fact that I couldn't like bring myself to do anything with my life. I'd been feeling super depressed for years. I can't tell if that's a laser sight or like a glitch. Alright, I'm just seeing some red stuff. And anyways, I just decided that I needed to quit smoking weed to move on with my life, and so I vowed to not ever smoke it again. And 4 months later, I still feel the same way, except I've become significantly more, I guess, in agreement with that decision. I just feel so much better now. Oh, nice. This is one of the places I have to go. Sweet. Yeah, I definitely just got a lot of like social energy back that I didn't have before, and I feel like I recovered a piece of my personality and intelligence that I had basically just been suppressing for a while. And I was definitely relying on it to like cope with different various feelings and emotions and stuff. So, just been working through all of that now. I'm just gonna eat these croutons. Might as well, right? Don't need to do the quest. Actually, this is terrible. Wow. I don't want that. That's garbage. But yeah, so it's interesting because the first time that I quit, or I wouldn't say the first time, but I had tried like to take breaks breaks and such when I hadn't decided to quit it for good. And it was always like an incredibly difficult task to take a break. I would just really absolutely crave it constantly, like every day. I would really just feel like I was missing out on a lot not smoking. But this time it was just significantly different. I just didn't want to do it anymore, and so I stopped, and I didn't really ever feel any regret, which I'm pretty thankful for. I mean, there is the advantage that weed isn't really as chemically addictive as, well, it's not chemically addictive, but I would argue it is physiologically addictive. Like, if some people try to quit, it can be incredibly hard for them to, like, eat and sleep afterwards. So, I'm just very lucky that I didn't have to deal with any of that. And I could just go ahead and stop. I think what played into that was me just slowly reducing how much I was smoking over the last year of using it, just because it made me feel so awful. Wow, I wonder if somebody's been through here already, because those are empty. I'm sure we'll see once we start looting a couple more things. Where was that? That was the... Oh, okay, there's actually a... Wow. Okay, I think the hand drill. I'm gonna look up the flea market hand drill. It's not exactly worth it. I would much rather have the fuel. Pardon my start menu. Oh, yeah, so I'm actually gonna double back, even though it's kind of annoying to go back to where we literally just were. Oh. No, that's just gunshots. Because it seems like I missed a building for the quest. The Pinewood Sparja store. So this is the... Let's make sure we're on track here. Yeah. So the Sparja store should be over here. So we'll just hope we can kind of be undisturbed. I've heard that there are a lot of scavs on this map. There's Sparja. Lucky that there's none here, I guess. Let's see what's in here. Looks like another grocery store. Not really sure where I have to go to get this quest marker knocked off. There we go. It kind of seems like this has been hit already. Unless it's just relatively empty. I feel pretty, like, not awesome being in here right now, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and we'll just retrace our steps once more. Just because that little complex of buildings that I was just in, I hit that on my first scav run on this map, and the loot there was, like, absolutely fantastic. So we'll go ahead and get ourselves back over there. I think I can cut through this way to get to it as well. Maybe. No. I don't know if you can breach that. Maybe you can, but hopefully nobody's shown up in the, like, 20 seconds that we were gone. Yeah. Anyway, so that's essentially my experience with quitting that. You know, quitting weed and such. Nice, I can open this. Just a very positive experience for me. And so that kind of motivated me to do the sober January or dry January kind of thing. Am I crazy? Okay. Which was also good. I think it was important for me to put myself in like clubs without alcohol, just because, you know, it's oh, there's got to be meds in here somewhere. It's, you know, it's fun to like lose yourself to music and dance and everything, but it's easy to feel awkward doing that, so it's no surprise that people will drink like at those kind of events. Wow, that's a lot of file cabinets. I'm pretty sure this is more valuable than that. But at the same time, it's very easy to just keep drinking while you're there and just kind of forget what's going on. Archives room key. Gonna go ahead and look that up. Archives room key. That is kind of not that worth it. I mean, it's over 10k, but it's not worth putting in my gamma, you know. Filing cabinets have been really hit or miss for me this wipe. I think this is over 10k now. I am about to be so overweight. I can get rid of these soon. Still need like 10 more of those. Let's go ahead and loot this. Hopefully that's a scav. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think that's a scav. You know? With the way that they're kind of moving. They definitely went in to loot those buildings. Yep. That looks like a player to me. Oh, maybe not. I think if that was a player, they would have gotten shot at. So, let's see. I'm gonna bind this. And I think it's time for us to kind of find our way out of here. So I need to go to the bottom left corner of the map. Let's see if I can't just... I don't think I killed that guy. I did not. Let me get back in here for like 10 seconds while I kind of figure out what the best route is gonna be. Because I'm in like, sort of like the middle east section. I kind of just have to cut straight across, which isn't that awesome of a prospect. Like crossing that like no man's land in the middle really sucks. You know? I think the play is just pre-med it, even though my food is really low. And probably go under this time. Alright, that's fine. Oh. Okay, not a big fan of the fact that there's another one. That sucks. That's a bit embarrassing, I've got to be honest. Whoa, he's flanking me, huh? Maybe there's a disadvantage to just using a scav loadout, huh? Let's see if I can get away with healing this before it's blacked. Wow. I hate that. That sucks. Oh my god. You know, maybe if I had just sprinted after doing the little reposition, but there was absolutely no hope for me there. Let's see. Subsonic. Yeah, that was pretty rough. Hopefully, my progress on that quest is like persistent outside of a singular raid. And hopefully you all don't mind just literally watching me die over and over. But I figured maybe it'd be interesting to see me learn a new map. I am so broke right now, honestly. It's pretty intense. Okay, at least the progress is persistent. What an absolutely terrible scav loadout. Let's see if we can do something a little bit more interesting. I would like to, I honestly I think I need to cheer myself up by dying on factory real quick. Oh, I actually do need to do a tool set. So we'll go ahead and do a quick factory run. Let's see, I need to find the rig. This is the one. It's that simple. Maybe could have gotten that cheaper off the fillet, but this loadout is definitely much nicer for factory than it was for streets. Let's go ahead and top up that. Throw that on there. Let's see what else I'm gonna need to bring. I'll just throw this on. Oh, right. Wow, the armor situation's not great. That's fine though. was in this situation, so I'll throw one of these in here. I would actually rather just have an S march and like a bandage, I think. Go ahead and put this on 5, 4, 6. And what could I be forgetting? I guess I'll just gamma that and we'll go ahead and send it. Yeah, the cool thing, I mentioned this already, but like you will always get the PPSH back because nobody wants this piece of garbage, right? Especially this late. And the drum rounds make it like pretty annoying to figure out what loadout you're gonna run with it. And people don't really like the TV rigs either. Like having a force, like a 2x2 is cool, but is it really that appealing? I would never have really loved picking those up or running them until I started running this gun. Just wasn't really a huge reason for me to have a 4x or a 2x2. Yeah. So, actually, take another sip of water here. I really have no idea how long this video has gone on for already, but it's been what, like 3 raids? Maybe half an hour. Not so sure. I figure I just prefer making, I mean, especially because I don't make videos that often, but I definitely prefer making longer videos. Just because, at least for ASMR, I enjoy just throwing something on and letting it play out in the background for like a pretty long period of time. Just kind of like zoning out to it. Or just like, if you're gonna fall asleep to something, having it be long enough to sort of just not worry about it stopping, I think is helpful. But what I was gonna bring up when I was talking about New York, I guess, is that I'm going to New York again next weekend, which is pretty exciting. It's also the end of this sober thing. I'm going like a week extra, so it'll be fun partying there and like breaking the streak, I guess. Driving up Thursday and going to one of my friends' shows that they organized on Friday, and then checking out one of my favorite labels. One of my favorite electronic music labels is playing on Saturday night at a 17,000 square foot warehouse. So that's really exciting. The audio system there, I'm sure, is going to be fantastic. Alright, let's try not to just get absolutely decimated here. I should pre-med, but looks like that guy probably pushed up there. I'll clear this just to be safe. Damn. Well, that one was fast, huh? With that gun, you really just have to pray that you just straight up hit them right in the head. And if you don't, it's just absolutely over. I've realized now what I was forgetting was a grenade. Otherwise, I probably would have just naded that. Could also just blind fire it. Live and learn, right? just gonna, I think I'll do one more run, which will be a scav run somewhere. I'm thinking probably Lighthouse. I've been doing a good amount of Lighthouse. I hope that hopefully the queue time for this isn't absolutely abysmal. Speaking of queue times, if anyone is like actively listening this far into the video, I'm definitely curious to think of how you all feel about me keeping all of the loading time in the videos. There's a couple benefits of it for me, which, number one, I literally don't have to edit the video at all, which is fantastic. Because one, I'm not very fantastic at editing videos. I don't have too much experience with it in general. And two, it's effort and I'm lazy. So that's simple. Also, I think I don't know, it would feel a bit weird to me potentially to just stop talking all of a sudden and then just like start again. I don't know, I don't think that'd be too terrible. It's not like I've never like had a lull in conversation before, right? So I'm sure it'd be fine. But on the other hand, maybe it could be jarring for all of you. Maybe you all appreciate the breaks in action. I guess the other thing is it kind of gives me time to just talk about things that aren't the game, for better or for worse, right? So, yeah, I mean, ultimately, you're the one watching the video, right? So, you would know what you like better than I do. So, anyway, if you are listening to this and you feel inclined to let me know your opinion on it, I would appreciate feedback on that, just so I know, if it's boring. Next time I make a video, I'll just go ahead and cut these out, because it really, it's not that hard to cut out load time. It would also definitely make the videos, I would argue it would make the videos better to cut it out, but even though I just argued against that, but it doesn't really matter, right? So, loading into Lighthouse. Lighthouse is another map that, I had pretty much stopped playing Tarkov during the wipe when it was released. When Lighthouse came out, actually, I was very excited. I was like, wow, a new map. That's crazy. I'm gonna not play Lighthouse, and then I'm gonna do an ASMR video. And the ASMR video is gonna be my first time going in on Lighthouse. And I ended up playing a little bit that wipe, but not enough to really fall in love with the game again. And then I just never played Lighthouse, and never made the video, right? So I only went to Lighthouse very recently during this wipe on a scav, and got to experience, I guess it's the rogue camp, which was honestly pretty cool. It had already been cleared out entirely, or at least the rogues had been, by some players. So I was able to just scurry around and pick up a bunch of garbage off the ground and end up with some pretty decent gear. Honestly, it was a really successful scav run. So most of the time I would just scav interchange and loot a bunch of stashes, or just book it straight for Goshan and try and loot up a bunch of food. But I've been doing a lot more Lighthouse runs, and I think once I get a better hang of streets, that's definitely going to be the destination, just because that map is so disgustingly big. Even though you know, it's just got so much loot spread around it, right? And also, like, I don't know, honestly, I think it's kind of dog that scavs spawn in at 45 minutes on that map. Like, that is just kind of gross. Why would you PMC? I mean, yeah, like, you can't bring anything in. Like, you know, like, am I gonna bring this Taz in? But the fact that you could end up dying to a player scav literally 5 minutes into the raid would definitely be a bit frustrating, I think. So, feel like for a 50-minute raid, you should at least be graced with like 10 to 15 minutes of just player combat, right? Just strictly PMCs. I think that's fair. 35 minutes. Wow. That's absolutely crazy that I just keep ending up with these T20s. So it looks like we're on the east side of the map. Because it's so early into the raid, I don't think I'm going to want to hit the rogue camp. I think it's going to be a bit risky if I go ahead and do that so early on. So I think the play is probably going to be going up into like this area, I guess like northeast sort of area, where all the houses are, and seeing if I can't just like pick up some random stuff from those. I think there's also a big mansion. Actually, I think it's over here. So while I've played this map a couple times, I only really have a general feel for like the layout. I don't really know any of the spots for loot. I do know that you can get a guns, like an AK in there. So I can't tell if that was a shotgun or like a mine or a grenade or something. I don't know. It's rough with no headphones, right? There's an airdrop coming in. I absolutely pray that's not too horribly loud, because they are so loud. Yeah, apologies if that's just like gonna end up being kind of deafening. Interesting. I'm willing to beeline for that. I literally have nothing to lose. I can't tell if I'm insane or if I just heard a player. Yeah. So I just kind of have to remember the orientation of that. And then let's see. Path to shoreline. I do know where that exfil is. I know it's like up there. I'm pretty sure, honestly, this is like, I'm gonna have to go way farther to get to this thing. I don't think I need to go up here. I think I actually need to go like over to the right. Yeah. Because that airdrop seemed really far. And I'm not sure, actually. I haven't been up this path, but I think that path just takes you up, up to the village. So we'll just like walk all the way to the end of the street. I think there's a decent chance that nobody is like really over here this early. Hopefully all the players are like over at road camping up in the little houses. And everyone just figured this thing was way too far away. Anything? Ah, the lighthouse. It's pretty funny, I actually just forgot that this part of the map exists, even though it is literally the name of the map. But I've only ever come this way a single time because I've just been scavving on here. It would be pretty funny if the airdrop was actually not over here. And by funny, I mean I would probably start sobbing. I'm pretty sure they have like a flare kind of thing going around them, which I do not see, which is not a great sign. I actually don't know if airdrops can land just totally out of the map. Is that a scav or is that a player? That's gotta be a player, right? I'm quite possibly the least equipped to deal with this person ever. They're kind of creeping up to the extract. I don't know. I think they just met it. I wish I had VoIP bound. I would try to talk them into doing a collaborative extract, I think. Maybe they just extracted. Because I think you just go over here and you can leave, right? At least if you're a player, right? Yeah. Okay, well. Bad news, I guess. We walked all the way over here, and the airdrop is not here. I would definitely say that's pretty terrible news. Wow. Time for the long journey back. While I'm over here, I think I will pull up the map that I'm going to need, because I'm a fool and I don't know any of these maps yet. Okay, so I can actually go up here. So it probably is somewhere up here. Very interesting. Well, maybe we still have a chance. Or maybe that player ended up nabbing it and just got out real quick. Oh. of me is thinking that they did already see this, because this is like absolute garbage, right? There's no way they didn't just hit this in the... Oh, yeah, yeah. Whoa. Alright. I mean, that's not very nice of them to throw everything on the ground. Okay, that's trash. That's trash. So a lot of this is just terrible. Let's see if we can get this tea bag out of the way. I do need that. What is this? Nice little hat. I'll throw the armor on. Alright. So, I guess I can just follow Scav hideout at the grotto, path to shoreline. Yeah, I think it's just gotta be path to shoreline, you know? I think that's definitely the route. You know, I'm more than happy to just take a free filter out. Not sure what those are worth on the flea at the moment, but I'm pretty sure I remember them being quite expensive. Helicopter. This has been hit, so we'll go above this and then just hug the top of the mountains. Apparently there's a stash somewhere up here. We do have to pass that little, there's like a mansion or something up here. So hopefully nobody is there, because I'm quite ill-equipped to handle any confrontations. But you know, I'm just gonna send it and pray. Hopefully I can get all the way through from back here. Maybe I can just have a little Tarkov moment. That's no good. Hopefully they're more scared of me than I am of them. It did seem like they got out of here. Let's try that again. Is that a player? That's a player, Scav. Alright. Let's keep moving. Can I walk over here? Yeah. Okay, this is the mansion. So we just need to keep kind of going this way and hugging the right wall. And I believe we should be fine. Yeah. I do know there's mines on this map, but at least looking at the map, it seems like this area is clear. I think this is the path I'm looking for. Whole lot of running on this one, huh? Hopefully you guys like the sound of running in Tarkov. Alright. Oh wow. This overlook is kind of insane. Alright. I'm thinking the move is just to absolutely book it. Can I clear this? There's no way, right? Oh wow. Nice. Sweet. And I should just be able to run down here. I think it's over this way. Right here, right? Yeah. Well, not exactly like where I thought that was gonna go, but I don't even think. Did we exfil before? Yeah, okay. Second win for the video, I guess. Low-key thought that I had not even survived yet this video. It's been rough. It's been rough out here. Let's go ahead and see how much I made from this filter. Just absolute. I'm praying that this thing is worth way more than I remembered. But you really never know. Wow. It's a pretty sick loading screen. Let's go ahead and take a look. That is less than I expected, but I am absolutely more than happy. To take 100K. Let's see, are these all full? Yeah. I think these go up later in the wipe, but I really can't be asked. I'm sure that'll take a minute to sell. I wonder how much these go for. Wow, these are way cheaper than I thought they were. A lot of this stuff is like... I'm surprised the Karasa goes for that much on the flea. I've been seeing like armor being just relatively costly this wipe. For 35, I'm just gonna put this at like 37, I think. Wonder what BP is now. Oh right, you literally can't. That's crazy. Yeah. Anyway, I've been playing a bunch. Oh yeah, let's see where I'm at. Stats for this wipe. Not the worst, not the best. Definitely had a better, definitely had more success previous wipes, so I guess it has been a little bit rough. so far. But it's been pretty fun. I'm happy to be having fun with the game again. But I think I'm running out of stuff to talk about, and I am also just tired of sitting in my chair. So I'm gonna go ahead and end the video here. Thank you all for watching, if you did make it to the end. And again, thank you to everybody who's still like following my channel and watching these videos, even though I only make them like annually, and it's just, I'm not gonna make any excuses. I'm just lazy, and there's a lot of stuff that I would like to do with my time, and so, but I do legitimately enjoy making one whenever I do. So whenever it comes to my mind and I feel like making it, I'll make it. And it definitely makes me happy to see you guys commenting that it's like helping you to, like, more than anyone can know. It feels really wonderful to see comments that say that like I've helped people with anything, right? Especially because I just sit here and play a game and ramble. So, to see that like some people are like, wow, this really helped me sleep, that's like seriously fantastic, blows my mind, right? So, anyway, thank you guys. I hope you're all having a wonderful day, night, week, month,